For over 300 years, Earth had been silent. No signals, no ships, no signs of life. Most of the galaxy believed humanity was gone. Some thought Earth had destroyed itself in war. Others believed humans had just vanished, like a dream. The Zurans, a proud and ancient alien race, didn't care. They ruled 100 star systems. They had defeated enemies far older than humans. To them, humanity was just a footnote in history. A young Zuran leader, Commander Velk, stood inside the Grand Senate Hall and laughed. Humans were loud, arrogant creatures. They're silenced now. It's proof they're extinct. We are the rulers of the stars. The Senate roared with laughter. Across the galaxy, the Zurans sent out a message, a challenge. Let any survivors of Earth hear us. We claim your worlds, your stars, and your history. Come stop us, if you still exist. But something did hear them. The Zuran exploration ship Firewake was sent to Sector 14, a forgotten zone where humans once lived. It was a quiet mission, just data collection, maybe some ruins, nothing serious. When Firewake reached an old human outpost on a cold, dead moon, they found something strange. There were no bodies, no tech. Just stone walls, carved with symbols that moved when no one was looking. First Officer Rex scanned the carvings and whispered, "This doesn't feel like human work. It feels older, darker." Before the captain could reply, the lights flickered. A low hum shook the ship. And then silence. Hours passed. Then a single broken signal reached Zuran Command. They're not gone. They're awake. Then nothing. The Firewake was never seen again. Panic hit the Senate, but Commander Velk laughed again. One lost ship proves nothing. Perhaps pirates took it. Or radiation. We'll send more. The Zurans sent 2 more scout ships, armed, fast, and well-trained. They entered Sector 14. They didn't return. Their black boxes, recovered days later, showed terrifying footage. Dark shapes. No heat. No sound. Just shadows moving faster than light. And screams. Screams that ended too quickly. One voice on the final recording said, "They're here. Watching. Waiting." The Senate no longer laughed. In the outer systems, rumors began to spread. Merchant ships whispered about silent vessels seen in the distance, ships with no engine trails, no ID codes, but shaped like the old Terran fleets. Some said these ships didn't move through space. They slid through it, like ghosts. A trader named Kel reported being followed for hours by a black, wing-shaped craft. He tried to signal it. No response. He jumped to hyperspace. When he arrived, a message had been burned onto the side of his ship. We never left. We just watched. The Zurans tried to cover up the stories, but fear spread fast. Old records of human warfare were studied again. Historians whispered of Earth's final wars, how humans had turned invisible, how they had created AI minds too powerful to be controlled, how they had promised, "If the stars forget us, we will remind them." And now something had reminded them. 1 week later, a Zuran satellite picked up a new signal. It was not a voice, not music. It was a single word repeated again and again in ancient Earth languages. Awakened. The word echoed across frequencies, bouncing through space, repeating like a warning or a threat. Galactic systems across 4 sectors went dark. Communication lines failed. Colonies stopped responding. And in the distance, near the ruins of Earth, stars began to flicker. Commander Velk stood in silence, staring at the void outside his command ship. For the first time in his life, he was afraid. "We thought they were extinct," he whispered. His second-in-command replied, voice shaking, "No, sir. They were just waiting." The Zurans had lost 3 ships. First, the Firewake, then 2 armed scouts. No survivors, no messages, only fear. Inside the Zuran High Council chamber, leaders argued. Some said to send more ships. Others said to seal off Sector 14 and forget it. But Commander Velk stood tall and proud. "We are not cowards. We rule this galaxy. If something is hiding in the dark, we will find it." He ordered 4 more scout ships. This time, elite forces were chosen. Best pilots, best weapons, best tracking systems. They left with confidence. They never returned. After 4 days, a strange signal was received. It came from deep in Sector 14. The signal was weak, damaged, but a message was hidden inside. A voice. Scared, broken. "They're not human anymore. They see us before we see them. They know our thoughts. They are everywhere. Don't come here. Don't." The signal cut. The council room fell into silence. One general whispered, "What have we awakened?" The Zurans searched for answers. They decoded fragments of the signal. Inside were images from the scouts' last minutes. A black planet with no sun. Strange machines floating in the sky. Ships shaped like knives, moving without sound or light. Symbols that pulse with red energy, ancient Earth scripts, but changed. And faces. Human faces. But wrong. Eyes glowing. Skin pale like moonlight. No words, just cold, silent stares. One ship's AI recorded the final line before shutdown. "They don't speak with mouths anymore." Panic began to spread through the Zuran colonies. Civilians heard rumors. Humans had returned. But they were different. Changed. Awakened. Old human weapons were found drifting in dead space. Clean, untouched, still working after 300 years. But no one could trace their origin. A trader station near the border exploded. No warning. Survivors said they saw a black shadow pass before it happened. One technician replayed the station's final visual log. A shape, tall, human-like, stood on the hull, then disappeared. Across the galaxy, other races began to worry. The Tharn, the Gerillians, the Vox, all received strange messages in ancient Terran languages. The messages said, "We remember. We watched. We rise when the stars forget." Many leaders thought it was a joke, a trick. But soon trade routes went dark. Satellites vanished. Ships disappeared. Something was moving through space. Quietly. Precisely. One Vox ambassador said, "They are not attacking. They are studying us, one system at a time." Meanwhile, in a hidden lab deep inside Zuran territory, scientists tried to trace the human signal. They followed it to a long-dead moon. There, they found a strange black cube. It pulsed with red light. The lead scientist, Dr. Krall, approached it. The cube opened. Inside was a human skull, perfectly preserved. Its eye sockets glowed for a moment. Then the lab went dark. When power returned, the cube was gone. And carved into the wall were 3 words: "We are awake." Commander Velk was no longer proud. He was angry. If they want war, we'll give them one. He ordered a war fleet. 70 ships. All armed. All ready. They would enter Sector 14 and bring back proof that humanity was nothing but a ghost. The fleet launched. On day 1, the fleet crossed into the old Turan zones. Nothing happened. On day 2, they passed strange wreckage. Alien ships, some thousands of years old, floating like grave markers. On day 3, all contact was lost. No battle. No explosion. No signals. Just silence. The only thing left behind. A simple message sent in every Zuran language. This was your second warning. The Zurans finally understood. This was not war. This was punishment. The Zuran war fleet had entered Sector 14. 70 ships. Thousands of soldiers. The best weapons in the galaxy. They expected a fight. They expected enemies. They expected noise. What they found was silence. No ships, no planets, just darkness. Commander Velk sat aboard the Wrath of Stars, the flagship of the fleet. He watched the radar. It showed only black, empty space. "Scan again," he ordered. "They are hiding." The scans showed nothing. No signals, no life, no sound. But deep down, every soldier felt it. They were being watched. On day 2, one of the rear ships vanished. No explosion. No warning. Just gone. The crew thought it was a mistake. Maybe a navigation error. Maybe engine failure. But then another ship disappeared. Then a third. All without sound. Without trace. Velk stood up. His voice was loud, angry. "We are the strongest in the galaxy. Show yourselves, cowards." The moment he said those words, the fleet's lights went dark. The stars outside flickered. A shadow passed across the command window, huge, silent. It was not a Zuran ship. It was something else. Black metal, sharp angles, no lights, no heat. The computers could not detect it, but every eye could see it. A human ship. It didn't fire. It didn't speak. It just hovered above them like a hunter watching its prey. Then, one by one, Zuran ships began to shut down. Engines froze. Weapons locked. Doors refused to open. Panic spread through the fleet. "We can't move. Our systems are offline. We're sitting ducks." And still, the human ship didn't attack. It just watched. Then it sent a message. Not with sound, not with radio, but straight into the minds of the crew. 3 words: this was mercy. And then, just like that, the human ship vanished. The lights returned. Systems came back online. But it was already too late. Half the fleet was gone. Not destroyed, taken. No wreckage. No distress calls. Only the empty space where ships once floated. The Wrath of Stars limped back to Zuran territory. Only 12 ships remained. Velk looked like a broken man. He didn't speak during the return. He didn't eat. He didn't sleep. When he arrived at the Senate Hall, all the leaders stared at him. He stood in front of them and said only one thing: "We're not ready for them." Across the galaxy, other races took notice. The Vox stopped their expansion. The Jurelians recalled their border forces. The Tharn shut down all trade near old human space. Fear spread like wildfire. In secret meetings, leaders spoke of the past, of humanity's fall, of the silence that followed. But now they understood. The silence was a warning, not weakness. Meanwhile, a small listening post near the edge of space picked up something unusual. A radio signal, old Earth style, from a deep part of the galaxy. They played it aloud. It was music. Soft, gentle. A piano. And after a few minutes, a voice. Calm, cold, human. "We are not here to conquer. We are here to correct. This galaxy forgot us. We will remind it." Back on Zuran Prime, scientists examined the message left behind by the lost fleet. In one of the ships, a wall was marked, not burned, not carved, etched by thought. A message in every known language, repeating again and again: "This was your second chance. Do not earn a third." The Zurans, once proud rulers of the stars, now looked to the dark with fear. They had mocked humanity's silence. And now, humanity had replied. The galaxy was changing. After the Zurans' fleet was broken, fear spread across the stars. Everyone now remembered Earth. But it was too late. Humanity had returned, not as friends, not as enemies, as watchers. The Tharn were the first to panic. They had once traded with Earth centuries ago, before humans went silent. Now they feared punishment. So they acted first. They launched a secret mission to destroy the nearest human ghost ship. It never returned. All that was found was a short message. You were once welcome. Now you are warned. The Tharn began fighting among themselves. Some wanted peace. Others wanted war. In the end, they split. Civil war broke out. And humanity just watched. The Vox tried a different way. They sent a peace message to the old Earth zones. A gift, data, food, music. They hoped to make peace before it was too late. For weeks, there was no answer. Then one day, every Vox ship received the same reply. A simple video. In it, a human stood in a dark room. He looked calm. No anger. No fear. He spoke clearly. We don't want your peace. We want your memory. You forgot who we were. Now we remind you. Then the screen went black, and hundreds of Vox satellites shut down, without a trace. The Gerillians, one of the oldest species in the galaxy, tried to form a grand alliance. They called on every major race, Zurans, Tharn, Vox, and others. They said, "We must unite now. This is not about survival. It's about control." The meeting took place on a moon called Relis 5. But during the talks, something happened. Every screen in the room lit up. No one had touched them. A voice echoed in every language. "We are not your enemy. Your fear is your enemy." Then, one by one, the alliance leaders collapsed. Alive, but unconscious. Later scans showed no poison, no attack, just a sudden shutdown of thought. Someone had entered their minds. And humanity, still watching. In the shadows of the galaxy, a new belief began to rise. A strange idea. A question. Are these still humans, or something else now? Some believed Earth had become a machine world. Others said humans had merged with AI. Some even whispered that humans had touched something beyond space itself. Whatever the truth was, no one wanted to test it. But some still tried. A pirate fleet from the Outer Rim believed the stories were lies. They called themselves the Black Serpents. They had no fear, no respect. They entered the Forbidden Zone near old Earth ruins, looking for loot, for power, for fun. They streamed their journey live. Thousands across the galaxy watched. They joked. They laughed. Until they found something. A planet. Covered in metal. But breathing like it was alive. Suddenly, their stream cut to static. Then a new image appeared. The pirate leader, his face pale, eyes wide, shaking. He whispered, "We saw the heart. It saw us back." Then the screen went dark. The Black Serpents were never heard from again. In the Zurans' great city, Commander Velk stood in silence. He watched old human war footage again and again. He spoke to no one. But he was thinking. Always thinking. Finally, he gave a single order. Send a signal. Not of war. Not of peace. Ask them one question. Why now? A day later, a reply came. It was only text. Because you spoke first. Because you forgot. Because we remember everything. Elsewhere, across dark systems, old Earth satellites woke up. They blinked to life after 300 years. One by one, they began to orbit forgotten planets, recording, observing. No attacks, no contact. Just the cold, endless stare of machines that should not work anymore. The galaxy had pushed humanity into silence, into shadow. And now, humanity had become the shadow. The Zuran leaders were afraid. Their fleets had failed. Their allies were falling apart. Humanity wasn't fighting a war. They were unmaking fear itself. But one Zuran council member had a different idea. His name was Mark Zeth. He believed fear could still control this strange new humanity. Every being has a weakness, even these shadows. Send someone skilled. Send the best. They chose an assassin known only as Ghostblade. He was silent, fast, invisible, trained to kill without trace. Ghostblade studied the mission carefully. Target: unknown. Location: old Earth surface. Objective: eliminate any central figure of control. He didn't question orders. He only asked for one thing: total silence, no tracking. I enter alone. The council agreed. Ghostblade vanished into deep space. He reached Earth 3 days later. But Earth was not like the old records. No cities, no smoke, no pollution. Just stillness. The planet was alive but silent. Metal forests, floating stones, skies filled with data clouds, patterns no AI could decode. Ghostblade landed near what used to be New York City. There were no ruins, no buildings. Only one thing remained: a single black tower rising into the clouds. He moved silently through strange terrain. The wind whispered with voices, but no one was there. His visor kept flashing errors. Unknown code detected. Scanner reset. Time drift, plus 12 seconds. Time drift, minus 3 seconds. Reality itself was unstable here. But Ghostblade kept moving. He entered the black tower. It was hollow inside. Only one room at the center. And in that room, a chair, a table, and a single human. The man was old. Hair white. Skin pale. Eyes closed. He sat still, as if waiting. Ghostblade raised his blade. But the man opened his eyes. "So," he said, "they sent you." Ghostblade moved fast, like lightning. But before the blade touched the man's neck, everything froze. Time, sound, even Ghostblade himself. He couldn't move, couldn't breathe. The man stood up slowly. "I was once like you. Quick, focused, sharp." He walked around the frozen assassin. But then I learned how small fear really is. The tower walls changed. They showed Ghostblade's memories, his training, his kills, his childhood pain, every secret, every lie he told, every fear he hid. Then they showed something else, his future, a cold, empty death, alone, forgotten. The man placed his hand on Ghostblade's head. "We don't kill with weapons anymore. We kill with truth." Ghostblade screamed, but no sound came out. And then, he was gone. Back in Zuran space, a strange capsule appeared outside the council building. Inside was Ghostblade, alive, but broken. His eyes wide open, never blinking. His mouth whispering nonsense. One medic leaned closer. Ghostblade whispered. He showed me the end. And it was beautiful. He never spoke again. Panic returned. If their best assassin failed, what could they do? They tried to send drones next. But nothing reached Earth. They vanished before crossing the orbit. One Zuran general spoke softly. "We have not found humanity. We have found what they became." Meanwhile, across the stars, human ships began to appear. Small, silent. No weapons shown. They drifted into orbit around major planets. Just watching. No action. No signal. Just a presence. A reminder. On one Vox world, a child looked up at the sky and pointed. "Mama, what's that?" In the clouds floated a human drone, shaped like an eye. It made no sound. The mother pulled the child inside and locked the doors. Every race now faced the truth. Humanity was not rising. They had already risen. And the galaxy didn't see it coming. Some wanted to beg for peace. Others wanted to hide. Some even tried to run. But deep inside, they all knew there was no place left to run. The galaxy was silent. Not because of peace, but because of fear. Ships didn't travel near Earth anymore. Borders were redrawn. Allies no longer trusted each other. And above it all, humanity watched, No words, no war, just quiet power. But the Zurans couldn't live in fear forever. Their pride was dying. Their people demanded answers. And so they made one final choice. Talk to the humans. Not threats. Not tricks. Just words. The Zuran High Council sent their oldest diplomat, Tarn Vel. He was calm, wise, and brave enough to speak with ghosts. They launched a deep space signal toward Earth's edge. No encryption. No tricks. Just a message. We were wrong. We feared what we didn't understand. We offer peace. Please speak with us. There was no answer for 2 days. Then a reply came. Not from a ship. Not from a station. From the stars themselves. Every Zuran screen lit up. Even personal devices. The message was short. A face appeared. Human. But more. His eyes glowed like stars. His voice was clear and slow. You want peace now? After silencing us? After laughing at us? Tarn Vel bowed his head. Yes, we admit our mistakes. We ask for a chance to understand. The human stared at him for a long time. Then he smiled. Understanding isn't given. It's earned. So let me help you understand. Suddenly, the stars above Zuran Prime changed. They'd flickered. Shifted. A map appeared in the sky, visible to the naked eye. It showed every battle the Zurans had ever fought. Every species they betrayed. Every secret war. Exposed. All of it. Zuran citizens looked up and saw the truth of their leaders. Riots broke out. Walls crumbled. People demanded justice. And the human voice returned. This is what you built your world on. Now you will live with it. Across the galaxy, the same thing happened. To the Tharn, the Vox, the Jurillians. Every empire was shown its true face. Not by weapons. Not by soldiers. But by truth. The humans had not returned to destroy the galaxy. They came back to clean it. And truth was their weapon. Some species tried to resist. They failed. Some begged for help. They were ignored. Only one species didn't act. The Aura, a small race from the cold moons of Sorel. They had never gone to war. Never harmed humans. They sent no message. No gift. They simply opened their skies. And one day, a human ship entered Aura space. It landed gently. No weapons out. From it stepped a woman. She smiled. The Aura leader met her and asked, "Why did you come here?" The human answered, "Because you listened, even when others shouted." That night, the stars above Aura glowed in patterns never seen before. A gift. A promise. And maybe friendship. Back on Earth, deep in the black tower, the old man sat again. He looked into space with calm eyes. Someone approached behind him. Was it enough? The figure asked. The man nodded. They remember now. Humanity never fired a weapon. They never invaded a world. They never demanded surrender. But the galaxy would never forget them. Because what was once abandoned had returned. And this time the galaxy knew one thing. You do not provoke the last civilization and walk away unchanged.